Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we're going to be talking about something a little bit strange, something you probably never heard of before. I certainly never heard of this until yesterday. My parents were talking about the housing crisis and what will happen if the housing market collapses and whatnot. And they just somehow mentioned Wall Street for like a second because Wall Street had a tendency to buy up houses. Then I just heard a thought, or like a thought popped into my head, a random one at best. And this thought was talking about, and I wrote it down word for word, just so I don't remember, Wall Street funding gangs. Wall Street funding gangs in order to lower the price of nearby housing in order to buy them up and drive home buyers away so that they themselves can develop it and sell it back to the home buyers for a lot higher price. So the question is, that we're asking in today's video, is Wall Street purposely ensuring that there are gangs in what they deem gentrified areas and be able to drive up home prices so that they can modernize it, but also own 54% of the average home market? So that's what we're going to find out in today's video. But before we do begin, this video is being recorded on Thursday, May 15th at 11:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, this was just a thought that popped into my head, a random one at best. There is no legitimacy to this claim. It was just a thought, and it could be a psychic hit. Who knows? We're going to find out in today's video if it's true or not. But anyway, this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. I'm not responsible for anything you do legally outside of this video. Anyway, so let's go ahead, let's begin. I do want to quickly give a little quick thank you and a little shout out to some of you guys. I just went on PayPal for the donation link just to kind of like see what I was getting charged for Apple. I don't get notified what happened on PayPal, but I have noticed some of you guys have indeed donated, so I want to be able to make sure I send my gratitude to you. We have Norma, thank you for your donation. Catherine, thank you. We have Doris, again, thank you, Doris. And of course, Margie. Thank you all for those of you guys who have donated to the YouTube channel. So all that money that you have donated to us will be put back into the YouTube channel. So thank you guys for everything. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all your love and support and kindness. And let's go ahead and let's begin. If you want to be able to donate to the channel, you could. The donation link is in the description below. I don't try to ask you for donation, but if you do, it's there. It's up to you. Anyway, besides the point, if you want to help out the channel grow, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content, and liking this video longer than normal, and sharing this video with others. Really help boost out the channel. Now, quickly before we do begin, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys did not see my previous video, as in when I'm recording this, I just posted an upload to this specific video, which is called, Will 45 Suspend Habeas Corpus? Will 45 suspend habeas corpus? Alright. I have a feeling that this specific video in particular is being suppressed by the YouTube algorithm because I posted this about 34 minutes ago and I only got 9 views. That's a little bit bizarre. I mean, look at this. Look at the line. Like, this is a little bit bizarre. It's been posted at the same time they always post my videos, and we are 21 less than usual, and it's being suppressed. It's a little bit bizarre to me that a video that is of high importance is ranking the lowest. So definitely go out and check that video if you have not done so already. Let me know if you did watch that video and your view count did not show up, because I'm really curious to see is this video being suppressed, and if so, why? And I talked about marital law and all those type of things in that video. I recommend you go check that out. Alright, so let's go ahead, let's begin. I hate a long intro, so I do apologize. I do want to make sure you guys knew that. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's find out about Wall Street. This is a new idea, something I never even considered of before. I don't know if you guys ever felt this way. I certainly did not think of it until yesterday. Spirit Angels was telling me, I know this is a little bit bizarre, but there's Wall Street in New York City, the thing that's like the financial experts, if you will. Are they purposely funding gangs in areas where they want to buy up homes? Is Wall Street purposely funding gangs in order to buy up homes for a lower price and then sell it back to people at a higher price? Are they purposely funding gangs in the United States? Okay. I'm hearing the word no, but it might appear that way. Interesting. Okay. Now, if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. White color means minor arcana. Color cards means major arcana. As the Spirit Angel told me, it's Wall Street funding gangs in order to lower prices of homes where they want to buy homes and invest in. Okay. What's the first card that comes in? It's yellow, it's winner. Winner. The card that comes in above the Knight of Cups reverse is influence and collapse. So influence and collapse. Remember I told you when I first started putting the cards down, the first thing I heard was no, but it might appear that way, which means it's indirect. And then here you have underneath the Chariot card reverse, it means non-white. So non-white is like non-white areas, means not pure intention. It could be somebody's color of the skin. It could be a whole bunch of different things. It could be a group of demographic that's being targeted in order to have their home bought out. It could be a multitude of different things. The bottom of the deck here, we have the Magician, making things happen the way that you want, manifesting those desires. On the top, we have the Hierophant, the government. We control what happens, what goes. And here we have Victory. This is a pretty good card for the stock market, but also a pretty telling card that says that the stock market in particular, particularly Wall Street, has the power, not the consumer, not the home buyer. Wall Street has the power, and they know they have the power. That's why the cards say they have the power. So we have here the first card that comes in is the Page of Wands. This comes in as a new leader, a new perspective, a new understanding of certain things. This is the Page of Wands here, but the fact that the Page of Wands, when you start to look at it from a deeper perspective, you start to understand it a little bit more. You start to understand this in a very specific way. What it is talking about is saying, seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things from a different light. But you're not able to do that because, well, you've been a winner for time and time again, but your luck has essentially ran out. So that is what the Page of Wands is telling us. It's telling us here that this is indicating Wall Street, because Wall Street has been the winner. They've been the breadwinner. They've been able to manipulate the markets in their favor, and since then, be able to control the market and control the consumer. An average home buyer only buys a home just for themselves. If anything, they're not very likely to own more than 2 homes. But Wall Street, they own many homes. They own town, they own cities, they own everything. That is why they're able to manipulate the market in such a way, because they themselves have powerful real estate. We also have here the Queen of Pentacles, and I'm really interested that I didn't take my Monopoly card, but it's okay, I didn't think of it until now. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is really interesting because the Queen of Pentacles in this aspect is looking at your specific goal, right? Looking at a specific goal. Now, most people, most Americans, they buy homes just for themselves, to be able to start a family. That's why the woman is looking at the Pentacle. This also indicates as well it also indicates Wall Street looking at a goal, not creating a family, but creating a dynasty, creating an heir to the throne. Essentially, what is the end goal of Wall Street? Wall Street wants to be able to give birth to a new generation of those who operate Wall Street, to be able to pass down that power. They don't have to be directly correlated in any way. They just have to be thinking the same exact way. And or by thinking the same way, you're able to be accepted within that crowd. And by being accepted within that crowd, you're able to continue the legacy of Wall Street. So what is the Queen of Pentacles indicating with the winner is that as long as there's the same amount of people with the same mindset and people who know how to control the system and is a part of this system, it will continue to dominate. That is what it's saying here. We have the Knight of Cups reverse. The Knight of Cups reverse means walking in with a sense of influence, giving money, giving opportunities, giving proposals, right? This is the reason why it's the Knight of Cups reverse. The Knight of Cups, again, coming with opportunity. The question I will ask in today's video is Wall Street funding gang to lower home prices so that they can buy people out to the point where they themselves are being evicted, or that Wall Street can dominate, kind of like a mafia. This is what essentially it is. It's like a mafia where they lower purposely the housing market and the prices of the home value, and by driving up crime, in return it lowers the housing market, and essentially they go in and buy them out, kind of like what you would expect how the mafia would do. So the way the mafia will work, just in essence, to kind of give you a better understanding of how the mafia operates, essentially they will go in and they would either force the owner to give up their company and be able to give money to the mafia. Now, if the owner says no, they will purposely sit down and eat and eat and eat and be served to the point where they run the country into debt, run the restaurant into debt, and the owner had no choice but to accept a loan in order to not default on his loan. And by doing so, the company is now operating on behalf of the mafia. Now that has become the money-making scheme on behalf of the mafia ring. So that's essentially how it will work. And then after a while, when they feel that the restaurant is no longer making any money, they put it on fire and they collect the insurance claim from the insurance company and they get a whole bunch of money that way. So essentially, that is how it works. In this aspect, Wall Street is kind of having the same similar mindset as the mafia, except it's not declared a mafia because it's considered a legal mafia mindset. But how you were to take the same mindset and apply it elsewhere, it's the formation of a mafia. And that's essentially what we're getting at here. Essentially, we're getting at this idea here with the Knight of Cups reversed, which means influence of the collapse indirectly. So what does this mean? It means that no, Wall Street is not directly not endorsing, but paying people to create crime, but they are in some way initiating it, if that makes any sense. It's a very hard way to explain it, but in some way they are initiating crime. Whether that means maybe evicting some people from the homes and not giving them a way out and forcing them to commit crimes they otherwise would never do if they were in a sense of security, financial security, they would not be able to commit crime, but by allowing the ability to take away homes and evict them because they can't pay, or knowing they can't pay and giving them the house and then evicting them, you drive up crime. By doing so, you lower the value of nearby homeowners. That is also the energy. This is also how they do it. They don't do it directly. They do it indirectly. By indirect means. Remember what I told you before? The Wall Street owns majority of almost everything, and that they have the enormous amount of power that they can kind of like puppeteer things. This is what it's saying here. They can puppeteer the desired outcome by using legal means to do it, right? Under here, you have the devil card reverse. The devil card reverse, it means not oppression. You can actually get out of there. This actually feels very much so that like Wall Street makes you be brought into this idea that, you know, once you're in the system, you're in the system, there's no way out. But that's really not true. We're saying here that there is a way out. There is no one chaining you down except yourself. The question is, are you willing to leave? Or are you willing to stay? And that's the question that remains. It's the devil card here. No one is forcing you to do anything, but the sheer pressure of the force will drive you to make decisions you otherwise would never do. There's also indicates to me as well that a lot of these people who are feeling very driven out don't like to live here. They like to live somewhere where it's more relaxed, more easy flowing, easy going. That's the type of energy that I'm getting from this specific card. That maybe they might want to live in Europe because they like the work-life style, right? You're working and you also have a life. Whereas in America, you work, and you still never get ahead. And that's kind of like what he's indicating here. You don't have to choose this lifestyle. You can go elsewhere. You don't have to be stuck in this type of dynamic system. And here you have the Emperor card. The Emperor card is coming towards the end, which means eventually you will get to a point where Wall Street will have all its power. But then as we start to, lead the influence, right, it's behind the scene puppeteering, we start to go into the devil, people start to realize, oh, I'm not really oppressed anymore. I'm not really oppressed. I'm believing that I'm oppressed, that I'm stuck here, that I have to be here. But in reality, I don't really have to. I have the option to leave. And here you see the Emperor, which is the king, the ruler, who ruled during this whole part of the tarot card reading, starts to feel a sense of collapse. That's why these people are leaving. And then you have here the non-white area, which is the Chariot card reversed. It's also indicating slow progress by the stock market, so slow progress by Wall Street, unable and unable to do it. I'm also getting energy here as well that they're also calling ICE on people. I'm also hearing that too, that in some way Wall Street is in cahoots with ICE, and that they are giving information to ICE officers and be able to tell people, okay, these are where these people are, these are the demographics. If you remove them, we'll go in and we'll give you a cheaper home, or better yet, when they're going to go in and they're going to gentrify the entire area and fix it up to the point where it looks unidentical to what it looked like in the past, prior to Wall Street integrating. So in a way, ICE gets benefit and gets benefited by what they call Wall Street, and Wall Street gets benefited by ICE by them removing non-white people from certain areas and certain demographics. They have free homes that are just sitting there now. There's no one occupying them. Wall Street's going to take it, and it's going to drive up home prices to the point where even average home buyers who are white, essentially, are also going to be feeling like they have to be kicked out. So in a way, what it is insinuating is insinuating there's going to come a point in time where majority of Wall Street can own majority of homes in the United States. Many people would actually be left on the street and would have to be forced to live elsewhere. Many people would actually leave the United States. But there would be what we call dummy homes, which does not exist right now, but they're going to be called dummy homes, where they're essentially homes occupied by Wall Street, but there's no one inside. And that is essentially what we're getting to this point here, where it's kind of hollow from the inside. External is beautiful from the outside, but there's no one around. There's silence. It's going to be like Ghost Town. But that's essentially where we're heading right now with Wall Street, because Wall Street is so committed to the idea of owning every single little thing that they forget that who is the one who's giving them the money. If no one's willing to buy anything because there's no one nearby, then they're not going to live there. And essentially, the home property will drop dramatically and pretty drastically. So in a way, Wall Street is creating its own disaster. So I guess the only way to do it is to let them fall, let them really fall. But it also is telling me here as well that they are engaging in behavior that's very mafia-like, and also engaging in behaviors where they are given location of non-white individual to ICE to deport them, and in order to gain home for practically nothing, really, because there's no one occupying it, so they'll be able to take that for what it's worth. And that's essentially where we're at right now with Wall Street. You know, the energy here is not good, at least, you know, for us in the immediate future, but the long-term future is going to go backfire on them. Remember, they are manifesting, they are able to maneuver certain things, but you can only maneuver so much until it starts to backfire, right? Everything in moderation. Alright guys, I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Let me know in the comment section what you think of today's video. I know it's a little bit bizarre. It's not something I would have ever considered to do a video on, but it was rather interesting, and it makes a lot more sense on the behavioral aspect of how Wall Street runs. Alright guys, I love you, thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.